So since you understood secrets, you will understand config maps pretty easily. Secrets means sensitive data. Config map means a data which is not sensitive in nature, general data. Okay, general data. That's it. That's the only difference. That means if it is a config map, then the data you can able to see from that config map object as well, from that virtual memory as well. So from that virtual memory, I mean, you can't go inside virtual memory, you can't see. To see the data, we have a command. Earlier, you remember, right? We use a describe command in secrets. That time it was showing only file names and the data size only. But now when you use describe command, it shows data as well. Okay, because that's a general data, right? Nothing to hide. So you can see that config map data as well. Okay, so let me show you, then you will understand. So okay, see, I'm just scrolling down. Okay, when you scroll down earlier, when I used, yeah, it was showing username only, username.txt, password.txt, but not showing its data. Correct? Right? Other secret object as well. It was not showing the data because those were secrets. But now we are going to use config maps. So now you can see the data as well. I'll show you. So here, how to deal with config maps? I told you, right? We have only one way. Config maps. Okay. So there is only one way by using which you can create, that is text file config maps, that you can able to access by using volumes and environment variables. Text file. Text file, this you can able to access by using volume modes and environment variables. Got it? So first let's create text file config object. Text file config object. Let's do it now. Yeah, see here. Creating text file config map object. Okay, you can simply call config object. Okay, so that we can able to access by using volume modes and environment variables. Right. First, let's create normal file. See, I'm just creating one file, vi sample file. Whatever file you want, you can create. Yeah, inside I'm going to put some general data. See, this is not secret data. This is general data. This is my general data from Saidemy. Okay, normal content that I have added. Right. So if you open cat sample file, you can see having some general data. Okay. Having some extra line also is there. Okay, let's edit. Let me delete that blank line. This blank line, let me delete. Okay, now I have deleted this blank line. Now let's try to access. Now cat sample file, I have a file having this data. This is general data, right? Now from this file, I'm going to create text file config map object. Let's create. How to do that? This is a command, kubectl create config map. I'm creating config map object. What is the name of that object? My map. Whatever name you want, you can give. From hyphen from file equal to, what is the file name? Whatever file name that you have created, that file name you have to give here. That means this is my base machine. In its virtual memory, I am creating config map object. The object name is my map. Okay, inside I am keeping this file sample having general data. Got it? Fine. Now we have created this object. Now if you want, you can delete this file. If you want, you can delete this file, rm-rf sample file. We don't need that file anymore because my file is there in this config map object. This one, this is my config map object. Got it? That's right. I have created. Yes, if you want to see list of config map objects that you have created, kubectl get config map. We have only one config map object, that is my map, having only one file. That is this file, right? Now, if you use describe command, if you use describe command, earlier in secrets, it was not showing the data, it was showing the data size only. But now it shows data as well. You can see the file name is this one. And what is the data? This is my general data from Saidemy. These are data, correct or not? So that data we are actually seeing from this config map object. Okay, why it is showing this data? Because it's a general data. But earlier in secrets, it was secret. That's why it was not showing the data. It was showing the only size of the data. Correct? Fine. I hope you understood. If you want, you can just go through my previous class slowly, then you'll understand. Then you can compare, okay, with that class with this one. Fine. Now, obviously, this file, that's what our aim is what? This file and its data I should be able to access from the pod which I'm going to create now, and inside container, I want to access the data. So I told you, right, we can able to do it from two ways by using either volume mounts or environment variables. First, we are going to see by using volume mounts. Okay. So for that, let's create one manifest in which I'm going to paste this script. Now it's clear, right? What I'm doing here, I'm creating one pod, this name, having one container. Inside I'm printing this one. Fine. Till here, all good. Pod and container. So this is what volume mounts, correct? That means inside container, under temp directory, I am creating one folder. That is what? Whatever name you want you can give, that's your wish. So under temp folder, this folder will get created called config. Any name your wish. Then this is our secret, config object name. What is the name? My map. That name we have to give here. That name we have to give here. Now see, these are fixed. You have to remember it. You have to remember it. Okay, we don't have any other choice. This is what config map object name, my map. Inside, what is our file name? Sample file we kept. Sample file. That is this file name. This is that file name. Okay, these are file name. Now this config map object acts like a volume. For that volume, we have to give a name. The name of that volume is test config map. This volume name. This acts like a volume, right? For that volume, I'm going to give a name. That is what test config map. That same volume name I'm giving here as well, at container level as well. That means what? These two will be mapped. I'm informing that, hey, container, inside you have this config folder. Hey, config folder, go and get connected to this volume. Means this one. So both will be mapped. Till here it is clear? Okay. That means once we map, this file will be visible here. This file along with the data. But here they are giving one additional feature that you want to see that file with the same name or any other name. You want to see that file here in container with the same name or any other name. I want to see that file with the same name. Then you give that name, whatever name that you want to see. I'm giving same name so that this file will be visible here with the same name. But no, sorry, I don't want to see that file with the same name. Instead of sample file, let's say I want to see with a test file. Then here you give test file. Then that file will be renamed here. Renamed here. That's what test file. And that data you can able to see here. So that file you want to see with the same name or you want to rename. Okay, generally we want to see with the same name. That's why here we give that name. Understood? That means after creating this particular pod and container, you go inside container. Under temp directory, you can able to see one folder called config. Sometimes I'm using word folder, sometimes directory, both are same. Okay, remember that. So inside you'll find one directory called config. Inside you can able to see file called sample file. We are not changing the name. So you can able to see sample file. And inside you can able to see that data, right? Let me show you. Come out of it. Let's apply kubectl, apply. That's it. We have applied. Now kubectl get pods. You can able to see I have one pod having 1 out of 1 containers which are running. And if you want to see more details, you can use describe command. Okay. And you can see this is config map object name called my map. Okay. Yeah. So it is showing just a map name only. See inside container, this is our folder config. Inside that config folder, you can able to see this map. This is, volume. That's what we mounted. This is the container directory that we mounted to this particular volume. Actually, config map object name is this one. It is actually like a volume. For that volume, this is the name we had given. Correct or not? Right? Okay. So, anyways, let me show you. Go inside this particular container. I'm inside the container. Now, cd temp. If you go inside temp, do ls. You can see config folder, cd config folder. And if you do ls, you should be able to see that file, sample file, correct, with the same name. And try to open that file, you can able to see the data. You can see this is the general data from Saidemy. Pretty simple. Understood? Fine. Yeah, that's what here I have mentioned. Understood? So this file having data you can able to see from inside the container or from base machine as well. Base machine means what? That describe command we used, kubectl describe config map my map. You can see file with the data because these are general data. But secrets that we were able to see only from inside container, not from the base machine. Clear? Okay, let me delete this particular file. Deleted. This is what? The first way by using volume mounts. Now we are going to see second way as well by using environment variables. Okay. See already my config map object is there. This is my config map object, right? Inside we have this particular file having data, sample file having this data. That means right now this is the situation. This is my base machine. Inside this virtual memory, I have config map object. The name of object is my map. Inside we have this file, sample file having general data. Clear? Okay. So this one we are going to access from inside container by using environment variables. Okay. So let's do it now. For that, I'm going to create one manifest. What I'm doing, I'm creating one pod with one container. See, this is my pod having container. This is a pod name, this is a container name, right? This is our config map object name. What is the name? That is what? My map. That name we are giving here. Inside my config map object, what is a file? That file name we are giving here. This is that file. The data of that file, the data which is present inside that file will act like a value of this particular key. That means inside container, this key's value would be the data of this particular file. I am repeating. Inside container, this whatever key you want, you can give. That's your wish. This key's value would be the data of this particular file. So this is a file having a lot of data. That's what this is general data. That is going to be value for this particular key inside container. That means inside container, if you give echo dollar my env, then you can able to see the data of this particular file. Understood? Let me show you. Yeah, let's apply kubectl That's it. Now kubectl get pods. We have one pod. Now I'm doing. I'm going inside container, pods container. I'm inside. Now if you type env, you can able to see all environment variables. In that, you can see this is my n, this is a key. And what is the value of its key? This is the data of our file, sample file we have created, right? These are data of that particular file. That is how it works. Or you can just either you can use grep command. See, out of these, when I don't want to see all this stuff from here to here, then you can use grep command. See, env pipe grep and give the key. What is this key? My n. Then you can able to see its value. Correct? I mean that name and its value. Or you can just give echo command as well. Echo dollar my env. Then you can see the data of that particular key. There are multiple ways to verify. Okay, that's it. Understood? Now exit and delete. Deleted. Then you delete that config map object as well. Get config maps. You can see our config map and you can delete. Kubectl delete config map and my map. That's it. We have deleted config map. Clear. So that's it, guys, for today. We'll meet tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll discuss other concepts.